You mentioned Tedros from the WHO, and I'm curious. I know that they had tried to get everyone to sign this. I think it was the Pandemic Preparedness Treaty, and I believe that Marco Rubio has opted out of that in the last month or so. And some people were calling that a pretty surprising step forward, where they were going to try to kind of seize control of sovereign nations in the event that they would determine there's a new pandemic. First of all, am I getting that right? And do you see that as a positive sign?
Well, we had the Pandemic Treaty Alliance International Health Regulations. The United States didn't sign off at the last minute. It was Trump, and you're right, because the Department of State and USAID are representatives, they pulled out. Kennedy, wanted us to pull out, and that was the right move. But, the UK signed on to it. So did all the other countries. What it does now is it gives, binding by international law, the WHO the ability to declare a pandemic, to declare contagion control measures like locking down, masking, and then the WHO can conduct and direct a global mass vaccination program. And this isn't just for human disease. They want dominion over all plants, animals, and humans. So the WHO is part of this incredible power grab that we're seeing worldwide, and this tension between globalization and then resistance to it.
Doctor, you mentioned kind of, the history of the medical establishment not being able to recognize the cocaine issue, the tobacco issue, but is there any historical precedent for this entire vaccine debacle?
Nothing close to it. I just can't imagine convincing the entire world to do something. Like you, I travel the world. There's great differences from country to country. You can't get countries to agree on anything. How the entire world fell into mass vaccination, the estimation is probably about 2/3 of the world's population took a vaccine. Now, the countries that essentially were unvaccinated, and they were simply too poor to the governments to procure vaccines, like Ivory Coast or Haiti, they're the ones who came out the best. There's been multiple analyses showing the least vaccinated countries did the best. The most heavily vaccinated countries did the worst. And the countries that are fair about the data, like the Czech Republic, show it's among the vaccinated who are having difficulties with fertility and fetal loss and all-cause mortality skyrocketing. And because the vaccines contribute to cardiovascular mortality, to cancer outcomes, as well as the other fractions, all-cause mortality in 12 studies now is rising as a result of mass vaccination.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.